Well, hi and welcome. I'm Ken from LiveLink Training, and today I want to talk to you about creating and using brushes. Now the brush tool in Photoshop allows us to paint and draw digitally, just like an artist would do on a canvas or a paper. Now Photoshop's preloaded with lots of different preset brush tips for us to select and use. Now additional brush tips are available to download and install from a variety of websites. Some are free, some you'll have to pay for. Now I prefer to create my own unique brushes from scratch. So let's have a little bit of an introduction to the brush tool. Now the brush tool can be accessed from the toolbox here, and we can go and click on the brush there, the little brush tool. Or we've got the keyboard shortcut of B, and I'm a bit of a keyboard junkie. But either will get you into the brush tool. Now once we've got the brush tool, we've got the brush tool options up here at the top. And the first one is they're basically being phased out. I don't use them anymore because they've been included now in the new brush settings panel. And if you try and make a new brush, if you click on this little click here, it says, would you like to create a brush preset instead? And so this is the way forward really, and this will allow you to make a complete brush in the brush settings panel. I'll just click cancel for now because I don't need that. Okay, next along is the brush preview, and this little symbol here with the number under it, and that number is the width of the brush in pixels. And if I click this little down arrow next to it, it'll bring me into the brushes panel. Now this is just one of the places you can get at the brushes panel, but there is a better place that's more flexible for you, and I'll be showing you that in a minute. The next one, a long little doohickey here, is the brush settings panel. And if I click on that, you'll see this is where you can make your brushes really dynamic and exciting. Because you've got all these things you can change about the brush and then save it out as a new brush for yourself. How cool is that? Next along we've got blend modes. We can paint with a brush with either or either or neither or neither of any of these blend modes. Then we've got opacity and flow. Now these are two important things that we need to get a hang of. Now opacity is basically, this is a bit, I suppose it's like the volume on your iPhone. If you turn your volume down to 50%, then whoever rings you, you're not going to hear them very well. Because that's the maximum that your volume can go to. And opacity is the same. It's more of a digital creation really, for digital imaging. But if you have that set at 50%, then 50% is all you can paint. Now flow is a different thing altogether. Flow is it's like how much paint's on your brush. And we can mix and match these, but I'm not going to do that today. In this video it's just really to give you an introduction to what's going on. And opacity we can change from the brush. So I can move that down and say, yeah, okay, I'll set that at 55%. And flow, I can click there and I can move that down. But most of the time I'm down here doing something, and if I want to change something I've got to shoot right up there to change the opacity and the flow. And I can also, if I go back to this little down arrow here, I can change the size of the brush and the hardness of the brush, but that's an awful lot of scrolling about. So I'm just going to give you a couple of keyboard shortcuts that will make your life so much easier. Now the opacity, if I want to change the opacity of my brush, then I can just use the keys on the keyboard. So if I want the opacity to be 50%, I press the 5 key. If I want 20%, press the 2 key. If I want 25%, I press 2 and 5 close together. If I want it setting back up to 100% again, I press the 0 key. Now flow, all we do here is we do exactly the same, but we add the shift key. So if I hold the shift key down and then press 5, I get a flow of 50%. 2, I get a flow of 20%. 25, I get a flow of 25%. Just missed it then. There we go. Now smoothing just slows your computer down. I haven't found any great use for this yet, so I don't use it. So that's the important stuff that we're going to need on the course for doing our painting. Now what about the size of the brush and the hardness of the brush? Again, I don't want to keep going up and scrolling up there every time I want to change the brush size. So there are some nice keyboard shortcuts for this. And to change the size of the brush, we're going to use the square bracket keys, which on your keyboard should be next to the P key. And we've got the left square bracket and the right square bracket. So again, if I've got a brush and I press the left square bracket, it should make it smaller, and the right square bracket will just make it bigger. So I can do this on the fly with no scrolling at all. Now what about the hardness of the brush? Well, I can do that again, but this time with the shift key. So if I hold the shift key down, and this time if you watch this little symbol up here, you'll see it changing. I can hold the shift key down and left square bracket makes the brush softer, and the right square bracket makes the brush harder. So basically if I do a soft brush, I can click. Oops, I've got my opacities and my flow left at 25%, so let's put them back. So I'll put that up to 100% and I'll put that up to 100%. And so now I should be able to, I've got black as my colour, so there's a soft black brush. And then if I hold the shift key down and the right bracket key a few times, it takes me to a hard brush, which will be that one. So basically that's dead easy from the keyboard with no mousing about going back to panels. And I like that a lot better. So that's it for a brief introduction to the brush tool. Let's have a quick recap on some of them keyboard shortcuts. To get the brush tool, just press B on the keyboard. If you want to make your brush bigger or smaller, use the left and right square brackets. If you want to change the opacity of the brush, then just press the number on the keyboards. So press the 5 and it will be 50%. If you want to change the flow, then you need to hold the shift key down and press a number on the keyboards. So that's it for the moment on the brush tools. I do hope you got something out of it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up or let me have a comment on what you think of the videos. And please, if you get a chance, click that subscribe button. It helps me to make the most out of the YouTube algorithms and reach more people with my videos. I will be very grateful for your help in doing that and building up my Photoshop learning community. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. I'll see you in the very next video.